This is Trent. It's great to talk with you guys once again on this wonderful weekend. I am right now at the end of a week-long break from ECPI. The last time I had talked to all of you, it was right before the final exam for my physics class. And I am happy to say that I made A's on both my physics course as well as my physics lab course. So it brought my GPA up to a 3.77, which is amazing. So as of today, my grades right now at ECPI are A, 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 B, AA. The reason why I am here is to talk to you guys about my impressions of the latest device that I have received from WomWorld Nokia. And this is the Nokia E71 QWERTY device. As you can see, it has a very sturdy build with a lot of metallic elements. And the metallic back here, as you can see, is very much prone to fingerprints and smudges. So for that I do apologize, but hey, that's life. Now, when you take a look at this, you'll notice that this is by no means a cheap phone. Everything is very sturdy and very solid. It's a lot more narrow than the previous E61i device that had been released some time ago by Nokia. It is very much similar to the build of the E51, which is a numerical keypad device. You have the overall shape, which is related directly to the E51, and then you have the directional keypad, which is the ubiquitous silver ridge line here, with the select button in the middle, that is surrounded by home keys on either side of it. On the E71, you have the home button, as well as the calendar, contacts, and messaging keys, along with two soft keys and the call and end keys. All three hotkeys for the calendar, messaging, and the contacts have two settings. One setting is when you tap on the hotkey, and the next setting is when you tap and hold it. For calendar, if you tap it, it brings up the calendar. But if you do a long press on the calendar, now once you do a long press on the calendar, it brings up a new appointment for you to fill out, to input into your calendar. You press contacts. With one quick tap, it brings up your contact listing. Now once you do a long press on the contacts button, it brings up a new contact field so that you can input new contact information for a new friend or a new relative or whatever. The messaging feature, quick tap on the key, will bring you into the email listing, and then a long press on the messaging key will bring you into a new email so that you can construct a new message to someone's email address. Another great element about the E71 is the illumination of the D-pad. Once the E71 goes on standby, there is a mode in which this entire select key in the center of the D-pad is illuminated in white light. There you go. Oh, there it is. It looks like it's alive when you have it sitting in the dark and charging its battery. Look at that. And the reception quality of the E71 is top-notch, like with any other Nokia phone. The volume that comes out of the earpiece is very sufficient, very loud. The one thing I liked about the calendar are the graphics. The graphics look so much cleaner and crisper. I really like the fading transition of the appointments as they appear on screen. It really gives the operating system a nice professional look, and it really gives it that iPhone sort of feel whenever you're navigating through it. Now here I'm in a different view of the calendar, and once I select an appointment, you have all of the pertinent information of the appointment immediately jumps out at you on the screen. The icons of the menu do look very much different than any other Nokia device that I've had. It seems to be a bit more colorful and a bit more cartoonish. This speaker here, even though it's not stereo quality like the E90, it's plenty loud. There have been mornings where I pop my 6 GB SD card into the phone here with all of my music, and I use this as a boombox sitting on the bathroom counter as I'm getting ready for work early in the morning. It has the same BP4L battery that's also used in the E90. Now, this battery is rated at 1500 milliamps of power. The battery life on the E71 pretty much equals that of the E90. Since average usage, with phone calls and text messaging and web surfing and music listening, I can pretty much go for maybe 2 days without charging the phone at all. It's a great phone in its own right, but at the same time, I've become so accustomed to the features of the E90 that when I go to the E71, I feel like it's a downgrade. So no matter how portable it is, no matter how often I can shove this into my pocket and just go off running, I still feel a little bit unfulfilled, especially when I'm web browsing or when I'm listening to my music through the speakers. I always end up going back to my Nokia E90 for that kind of multimedia experience. Now, as far as using the calendar or text messaging, it does get to be a bit more convenient because it is smaller. You just take it out of your pocket and then you start typing right away to respond to any sort of incoming message. But then, even while I'm typing with both of my thumbs, I run into a situation with the phone being so thin to the point where I can't really find a good, comfortable typing position when I'm holding it in midair. It's light enough to be able to port around town without making it uncomfortable to carry in your pocket. Now, this is the one huge advantage that the E71 has over the E90 and the E61i. Now, as a Nokia E90 owner, is it worth it to spend more money to go with the E71? In my opinion, no. If you've already got the E90, you already have the benefit of the widescreen for web surfing, as well as the full-sized QWERTY keypad, which allows you to have a full number row, as well as dedicated shortcut keys. Unless you really want to go after a portable device that allows you to have the same capabilities within the Nokia Symbian S60 operating system, I'd say you're better off staying with your E90. Now, on the other hand, if you own the E61i, I'd say yes, it's a very good upgrade from the E61i. Even though the onboard camera is 3.2 like the E90, the video recording resolution is only taken at 15 frames per second, which is half of what the E90 can do. Now, 30 frames per second is claimed to be TV quality, according to Nokia. But when you take into account the 15 frames per second, video quality on that is not too bad. It's pretty much good enough for YouTube videos and whatnot. But personally, for me, as I said before, once you get used to shooting video with either the N95 or the N93 or the E90, it pretty much doesn't make any sense to go on a downgrade to 15 frames per second, even no matter how good the device is. One huge improvement that I liked on the E71 in comparison to the E51 are the buttons on the side here. You have your volume rocker keys along with the voice key. Now, if you remembered my video review on the E51, I made the comment that the side buttons were very hard to press. You pretty much had to break your finger off to get any sort of feedback from each button. That's not the case with the E71. I think Nokia has learned their lesson with the E51, and they've made the buttons very easy to press down. There is a sure click on the device when you press down on it. And also, there is a backlight for each button. When I enabled Google Maps to use the GPS feature and I was outside under clear sky, it didn't take long for it to lock on to GPS satellites to be able to zero in on my current location. It took about maybe not even a minute before satellites were sensed immediately and Google Maps started zeroing in on my current location. The Nokia E71 is a great device for anyone who does not have the E90. And if you have the E90, if you're looking for a portable Nokia device that has a built-in QWERTY keypad, the E71 is the phone for you. So on that note, I hope you guys are having a great weekend, and I will look forward to talking with all of you again later. Take care and stay safe.